What's up, guys? Mason the Brock Henderson here, and this is NCIS Season 14, Episode 20, Bowl of Cherries. So, had a few problems with this. First of all, let's talk about the case. This whole case starts because this general gets infected with a computer virus, and instead of just paying the ransom for the virus, which is only $500, which shouldn't be that much, instead he just says, no, not going to, and infects everybody else on the NCIS team with the virus. Come on. And not only is it, oh, now they have to find the hacker and get rid of the virus using their computer, they also find out that apparently this hacker is kind of a serial killer and that he's frozen a ton of people trying to work on cryogenic, like freezing people, bringing them back to life later on. So just the premise of it is already dumb. And then on top of that, you make it out to be where, oh, turns out the general was right in doing this because look at what it led to, guys. It led to them capturing a terrible human being. Isn't that awesome? Isn't that just great? What a weak premise for a case. Like, and here's the thing, like, they even say at the beginning, you committed like 5 felonies just to get this one virus off your computer. You couldn't just pay the ransom. And he starts talking about, oh, well, my wife's pictures and this and this and this. If you want your wife's pictures back, just pay the freaking ransom. I don't understand why. It's just so frustrating to me that this whole thing starts because this guy is too stubborn to pay $500 to get a computer virus off his laptop, which got on there probably because he was being stupid and clicking on something he shouldn't click in the first place. And then you infect a ton of other people's phones and computers with the virus just to make them work on your case. That's committing a felony. You should not have that job anymore. You should not be a general after that. And yet at the end of this episode, what did they? Oh, you did a good thing here. You helped us catch the bad guy. Good job. Thanks for infecting our phones and computers. I mean, you're awesome. You're great. Ugh. So, that was already pretty dumb. On top of that, the personal life of this case, this episode, they always have the case and then they have kind of the personal stuff going on with the team. In this one, it's about, first of all, it's about Alex and her mother, and apparently her mom's got, I guess, onset of Alzheimer's or something, because she's losing her memory. She's forgetting that her dad, well, Alex's dad is dead, and so she's sitting there talking about planning dinner with him and all of that stuff. So that was kind of sad, but at the same time, I don't really feel a connection with Quinn yet, or for that matter, Torres. Like, I don't really feel like I've connected to them yet. And so throwing in this really emotional story for one of them doesn't really make me feel much for it. Like watching the Jimmy episode. The reason I connected to that so much is because I've connected to Jimmy. I've seen him, I've connected to him as a character. I want to see him succeed, and so seeing him go through that episode talking about just his life, what's going on there, I like that. I want to see more about Jimmy. I want to see more about McGee and Bishop because I've connected to them as characters. I haven't really connected to Quinn and Torres yet, and that's mainly because, I don't know, they're interesting characters, don't get me wrong, but they haven't really formed their own identity. It still feels like they're sort of trying to fill the void where, DeNozo left. So that's the main problem there. But then you look at the other personal life stuff going on with the team. It's just this whole, oh, this generation doesn't know about technology before technology got all of the new technology and all that stuff, and now they work with flip phones, and I'm just like, okay, look, I understand the technology now much more advanced than the technology they had several years ago. I get that. I grew up with that lesser technology. That was my childhood pretty much. But they're treating this like they're stupid when it comes to old technology. They're NCIS agents. They are federal agents. You're seriously telling me that they can't figure out a flip phone? A flip phone is more simple than a smartphone, and they're having trouble with it. They're having trouble with, oh, I don't know how to text on a flip phone. It's only 9 buttons instead of what, 72 or something like that. I don't know how many buttons are on a keyboard, but That's my biggest problem with that. They're treating it, obviously, as being treated as a joke, but it's got to make some sort of sense. You know, if they want to make a joke, the one that they made about trying to keep more than 9 contacts on the phone, that makes sense. Because now we can keep however many contacts we want, pretty much. So going to a phone where you've only got 9 contacts now, that's a joke that makes sense. But to joke about them just completely messing up the phone, like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Oh, what is this? What is this wizardry? I've never seen this before. It's like giving somebody like a TI-85 calculator and then giving them like one of the old calculators, one of the ones that, was powered by light and all that stuff and only had the 9 buttons instead of all the extra buttons, and then going, I don't know what to do anymore. Well, what am I supposed to do now? There's so few buttons. I don't get it. What is this? What is this monstrosity? I don't understand. It didn't make sense. It's a joke that doesn't make sense. And so whenever you have that, I don't know, it's kind of frustrating to watch them act like idiots. And whenever they're supposed to be an extremely smart team, and they're acting like idiots with these little flip phones, it just kind of takes me out of the episode a little bit. It makes me frustrated with it. So, all in all, the case wasn't that interesting. The premise for it was kind of frustrating. The Quinn stuff was emotional, and honestly, her story is pretty sad, and her mom's story is pretty sad. But I still don't feel connected to her yet as a character. And then the flip phone joke was just absolutely stupid to me. All in all, it's kind of a frustrating episode, but there's still some enjoyment in it. There's still some watching the team do what they do is still fun. Some of the jokes that they make at each other's expense at times can be fun. Watching Quinn and Torres, their chemistry works for the most part. So whenever Quinn's mom comes into the office because she's not answering her phone, and she and Torres are talking, I do like that scene, and the scene with him after with Quinn, where they're talking to each other. I do like their scenes together, and I don't know if they're trying to set up some sort of romance there or not. I mean, we had last episode where they were talking about, the possibility that, they hooked up in the academy or something like that. I don't think that's where they're going with it, but I do like what they're doing with their characters right now as far as the chemistry that they share and just the conversations they share. They're both newbies on the team, and so watching them sort of have to get used to the Gibbs way and get used to working on the team, I like what they've done with them so far. So there still are enjoyable parts of this episode, but overall, it's kind of frustrating to really think about it. Like, if you shut your brain off, you can probably enjoy this episode, but I don't like to shut my brain off, and so there's a lot of stuff that did frustrate me about this. So that's about it for this episode. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. What did you like and dislike about this episode? Let me know. We can talk about it and discuss all that good stuff. Leave a like and subscribe for future NCIS reviews, and I'll see you at the next one. Peace out.